In 1807, the Slave Trade Act was passed, which prohibited slavery within the British Empire. This was the first legal document that eventually led to the total abolishment of slavery. The act specifically prohibited the transportation of enslaved Africans within the British Empire. In 1833, the Slavery Abolition Act was passed, which made slavery illegal within the British Empire. Though these acts were passed, a system of apprenticeship was created for all enslaved people over the age of 6. The apprentices were still enslaved and used as a labor force for the enslavers. The apprenticeships were officially ended in 1848, granting the enslaved Africans a brief moment of freedom. The apprenticeships came to an end as a result of the continued protest by the enslaved African people in the Danish West Indies. After the enslaved Africans were freed, they were forced to sign contracts that basically re-enslaved them to the plantation they were previously bound to. The protest started on the island of St. Croix on October 1st of 1878, or Contract Day, as the African people gathered to protest the horrible working conditions they were forced to endure. Frederiksted was the site of the protest on the island of St. Croix. The gathering began as a peaceful protest against the inhumane treatment the African people faced. Soon, rumors of an African person being critically injured or killed by a Danish soldier spread quickly, leading to African people throwing stones at the soldiers. The soldiers opened fire upon the African people before forcing themselves in the fort for protection. The Africans attempted to take over the fort, but were unsuccessful. So they began taking over and burning down around 50 plantations, homes, businesses, and more. Queen Mary, Queen Agnes, and Queen Matilda were 3 of the leaders of the rebellion. The rebellion was known as the Fireburn because the queens helped to burn down more than half of the city of Frederiksted. The 3 queens inspired their fellow African people to gain their freedom by any means. The Danish fought the African people for 2 weeks to suppress the rebellion. The African people fought long and hard behind the leadership of the 3 queens. Many lives were lost, but the rebels were able to burn over 900 acres of plantation land before the Danish suppressed the rebellion, killing over 100 Africans. The Danish quickly established a rigged court system designed to determine the fate of over 400 rebels who were captured. Of the 400 Africans captured, 12 of them were killed by firing squad. 24 of them were sentenced to hard labor for an extended amount of time. 5 of the rebels, including the 3 queens, were sentenced to life of hard work in prison. A year after the rebellion, the Danish forced the African people to sign new contracts that did not improve the working conditions for the Africans. In 1882, Queen Mary was around the age of 40 when she was shipped to a prison in Copenhagen, Denmark, before being sent back to Christiansted to serve her prison sentence until her death. Queen Mary was the most well-known of the 3 queens. She is said to be linked to every rebellion on the island of St. Croix and was adamant about the rebels being committed to gaining their freedom. There isn't much information about Queen Matilda and Queen Agnes. We do know Queen Matilda was only 21 years old when she joined the rebellion. She, along with Queen Mary, was the mother of 3 children. In 2005, the memory of the 3 queens was captured in the form of a memorial fountain called the 3 Queens that overlooks the Charlotte-Amalie city of the island of St. Thomas. These 3 remarkable women valued their lives, their freedom, and their people. They were willing to leave their families to fight for their freedom and the freedom of their people. To the 3 rebel queens of the Fireburn, Queen Mary, Queen Matilda, and Queen Agnes, we proudly stand on your shoulders. For more information, please visit my website at www.ontheshoulders1.com. There, you can support my OTSOG book series. You can also support me on Patreon at patreon.com/OTSOG. And don't forget to hit the super like button under this video. I love you all, and make sure y'all catch the next video coming up.